Hey, what's up, guys? David Glenn of davidglennrecording.com and theproaudiofiles.com. We've got a sweet announcement. We've released Mixing Acoustic Pop. We've got the song Chosen. You guys have seen me do the Mixing Acoustic series, and I took that same song. Remember, that was the acoustic version that I created from the radio version. Well, I finally mixed the radio version, and it's out. That training course is going to be a complete walkthrough from A to Z, everything I did, starting with the kick and ending with the stereo bus and kind of a mastering pattern there. So go check that out at mixingacoustic.com or follow the link in the video, probably below as well. And we're going to pull up and I'm going to give you a little teaser of kind of how I've mixed the bass guitar and some things I did to kind of prepare in production, and then a little bit of the mixing technique that I used for the bass guitar, and then give you one more option as well, one that I didn't use. But diving right in, I'm going to play the bass the way that it was originally sent to me from a friend of a friend who recorded this bass just straight into your average inbox or something like that. Nothing to it, no compression, no EQ. Plugged it in and sent it to me. Okay, so nothing fancy, nothing crazy, and I'm not going to go over this stuff just yet. This is in the course, but then the after of the processing. So a little more bottom, a little bit more clarity. The lows are compressed with actually that's a sidechain compression, but from the kick, the lows are compressed, keeping that on top and hitting that a little bit. Just some other stuff. We'll get into that later, or check out the course for sure. But what I want to talk to you about today is blending an amp tone. So he just gave me the inbox. There was no amp. And a lot of times, guys, when they do send me a DI and an amp, a real amp that they've mic'd, I'll listen to it. I'll see what I think. But I'm getting great results from some of these new plugins. One of those is the Softtube Bass Amp Room. There's a native version of this from Softtube, and then there's also, I've got the UAD version here. And this is the preset I picked, but let's go through them. Typically what I do is I put the two together, and then I'll boost the amp room so I get a lot of that, and then I'm going to listen between the two and see what the bass amp tone is doing. So let's take a listen to what this one's got going on. Yeah. So clean mid, that's the one that really jumped out at me. When I'm listening for a bass amp tone to emulate and blend with my DI, a lot of times what I'm listening for is how the mid-range reacts. What is the mid-range doing from about 200-300 and up? And actually, the next step for me, say that we like that, the next step for me is actually to come over here and instantiate the Pro Q2, and I'm just going to bring up probably, let's say, we'll do 250 for now. Let's solo this guy. Okay, I want a little bit more volume now that I've hit some of those. Let's pull this guy up and okay, so that sounds pretty sweet. A little bit string noise, some stuff maybe we don't need that's way up there. So before the EQ and after. Let's pull that back a little bit. Okay, so I don't mind what's going on in the 140 region and up, but it would get a little bit crazy if we added in the lows, the subs from here that we're mixing and controlling with the Pro MB. It might just get too much of that. So For me, I'm going to take this guy down now, and I'm going to blend it in to taste. Without it. Okay. So I like what we've got going on there, but just because I want to make sure that we maintain a great phase relationship or create a better phase relationship, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to instantiate the where is it? Sound Redix auto align. I'm going to pull this open. I'm going to set this guy to send. We're going to detect delay and polarity. Pull up a little bit of the noise floor there. Then I'm going to do the same thing here. At the end of the processing, we're going to go Sound Redix, Auto Align, Delay and Polarity, and we're going to receive on channel 1. So we're sending from the DI, we're receiving it on the bass amp, pulling up a little bit of the noise floor. That's good to go. We're going to detect and hit play. All right. So it's delayed that by 220 samples. Now let's come out here to the end. Let's hear something different. And I'm going to, those are both the last plugin on each of their chain. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hold Command, Option, and Shift. It's going to be just these 2 tracks. I'm going to make that, I'm going to bypass it on both of those at the same time. So I'm going to have it before, and then you'll see I'll bring it in at about halfway. We'll drop the amp and play that again and blend it in. Okay. Now, it doesn't always make it better, or it doesn't always make it to where it fits better within the track. So now that we've heard it by itself, I'm going to leave it in, and then we're going to pull it out, and then you as the mixer can decide, do you like the way that it's affecting the lows? It may tighten up the lows and help those to have a better relationship, but you may miss out on some of the mids, and I think we are going to be missing out on some of the mids that we just tried to create. So let's take a listen. Here's With It In. So it gets a little bit thinner. The mid-range comes out. I think in this case what I might do is then send both of these bass guitars with the phase relationship tightened up to what I call a bass level, and then apply another mid-range boost to the blend of those 2 guitars and EQ that to taste. So that's one way of looking at it, the bass amp room from Softtube and UAD. Let's take a look at the Saturn. I love this plugin on bass from FabFilter. And I've already got a preset here that I like, the Boutique. Let's take a listen to this guy before and after. Back off the drive a little, or push it. Very nice. So that's another cool one, and this one gives you multi-band parameters, so you can control the drive for a band that you set. You can slide that around. You can see the bands changing up top. The mid-range, you can drop and get rid of whatever the highs that you don't want, any of that extra nasty string noise. And you can drive the distortion independent. You can have two different amps. You can see here, this is smooth amp, and then the preset for this guy is crunchy amp. You can change that to any number of these. Drive the distortion. This guy is just insane. I'm actually going to be starting to use this more because I love the flexibility. And then you've got EQ, you've got bass, mid, treble, and presence for each band. So anyways, you guys see that that's awesome. I don't have to convince you of that. So there's another way. Sans amp is always a good one. I think my default preset is crunchy bass. Without it. Back in. So there you go. A couple of things to pay attention to when you have a clean DI and you want to create a little bit more of that mid-range character like you're working with a bass amp. You can blend the two to taste. Don't forget to check the phase relationship. If you don't have Sound Radix, the auto align, you can nudge those until they start to sound good. Align the samples a little bit by hand. The Saturn is incredible. The Sans amp is great. And I hope that gives you some thoughts, some ideas for working with bass even when you do get an amp sent to you. Try comparing this to the amp that you were given and seeing which one serves the song better, because ultimately it's about what's going to make that mix the best for the client. So thanks again for watching. Don't forget to check out Mixing Acoustic Pop at mixingacoustic.com or follow the link in the video. And if you have any questions, send them to David at davidglennrecording.com. Don't forget to check out the proaudiofiles.com as well. And then lastly, let me ask you if you've been, if these have helped you, these videos, we do these free videos on the YouTube channel, man, please feel free to share these, send them to a buddy, a friend, a group of friends, post them in the groups. Anything you can do to spread the word, we appreciate it. And I know that your friends will appreciate that too. So thanks again from David of davidglennrecording.com, and we'll catch you on the next one.